What's going on, Dolphins fans? It's Connor from the Dolphins Dive, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the cornerback position ahead of the Miami Dolphins 2023 training camp, which I believe veterans report tomorrow. So football season is right underway, and I'm very excited to talk about the cornerbacks, which honestly, in my opinion, the Dolphins have the best cornerback room in the entire NFL.
You're goddamn right.
But before I hop into today's video, quick little plug to the merch shop, thedolphinsdive.com, where you can get dope Dolphins merch like this Legion of Zoom shirt, which came out really good. Now, I know the lighting's really bright, but this shirt came out tremendous. I'm very happy with it, so check out thedolphinsdive.com. Link in the description. But gonna hop right into today's video talking about cornerbacks. Now, I'm going to start with naming the people on the roster, and who more notable than Jalen Ramsey, who we acquired this offseason, all-pro corner, not arguably, the best corner in all football. Xavier Howard, Kader Kohou, Cam Smith, Nick Needham, Keon Crossan, Justin Bethel, Tino Ellis, Noah Igbenogany, Trill Williams, Bryce Thompson, and Elijah Campbell. There's a lot of names on that list, and going off of last year's number, the Dolphins only kept 6 corners. And I looked back to Vic Fangio's 2021 Broncos days. They kept 7, but 1 went on IR immediately. So the Dolphins are probably going to keep 6 cornerbacks. So there's a lot of names there and a lot of fat to be trimmed. So I'm going to break down who I expect to make this roster and the most notable camp battles. So I think it's pretty obvious the Dolphins have the top 2 corners are going to start for us in Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard. It's kind of sad to say, but regardless of how training camp goes for either of those guys, I see that being the starting 1-2 punch at corner. I think the real battles begin for corner 3 and most likely the slot job. Now, Jalen Ramsey has played the slot before in this scheme. There's a lot of run defense needed from that third corner spot, so back in his time in LA, they would actually put him in the slot to help defend the run because he's a very physical corner. But we're going to break down this third corner job. And in my opinion, and I think most of you would agree, it's between Kader Kohou, Cam Smith, and Nick Needham. But Needham is notably coming off of an Achilles injury. He's starting on the PUP list, so who knows how long it's going to take for us to see Needham hit the field. But when he does, I expect Glock 40 to be balling out because that's all he's done his entire Dolphins career. Nick Needham has been a constant over the past 3 years, and he's always been a great player for us. So I expect no different from him. So in my opinion, the cornerback 3 job comes down to those 3 people. I think Kader Kohou is the front runner due to the fact he's coming off a tremendous year and he's coming off healthy. I'd say Nick Needham's second, most likely in my opinion. Coming off the injury is tough. It's going to take some time to fully get acclimated. You hear a lot of these guys talk about coming off those major lower half injuries, and it usually takes them multiple months of actually playing to fully feel like themselves. And then Cam Smith being the rookie, I think it's going to take some time to get acclimated into the NFL, but he's got tremendous traits and talent, which who knows, maybe if he gets propelled into that spot, he thrives. Especially when you have Xavier and Ramsey next to you, it can only boost the play of the people around them. So I think however that camp battle ends is going to be our 3, 4, and 5 corners. So for example, Kohou, Needham, Cam Smith, 1 through 5. So then the next battle starts at cornerback 6, which in my opinion is basically the last cornerback role between everyone else on the list. I think most likely between Trill Williams and the rest of the crew. I like Trill Williams a lot. Stud out of Syracuse. Obviously, he's also coming off an ACL injury, which, like I mentioned with Nick Needham, it takes time for these guys to come off of these injuries. Honestly, I hear a lot of ACL people say, I didn't feel like myself until a year out of the ACL. So hopefully, Trill Williams takes training camp by storm and is our clear cut to make the roster, but he's going to have some competition between Justin Bethel. We also have special teamers that need to be incorporated into the roster, and that's usually at the back end of position group. So does he outperform some of those special team specialists such as Justin Bethel, Keon Crossan, Elijah Campbell? Those guys are very good at special teams, and you need special teamers on your roster, whether we like it or not. Shout out to special teams. So I think if there's a notable guy between Trill Williams and that rest of the list, between the Bryce Thompsons and Tino Ellis, if any of those guys ball out, they'll sneak in as the 6th corner. Otherwise, I think that sixth corner is going to be a special teams guy between Elijah Campbell or Justin Bethel. I'd say Keon Crossen, he's known for special teams, but he's due $3 million, and if we cut him, we save all of it. So unless he takes a pay cut, I don't see Keon Crossen making this roster. And it's not because he's not a good enough player. I think if money wasn't an issue, Keon Crossen makes this roster. I think unless he takes a pay cut, though, he's going to end up getting cut. That sixth corner job is up for grabs between, I think, Trill and the rest of the crew. And maybe they keep a seventh corner as a special teamers between Bethel or Elijah Campbell. And I know Trill Williams also has safety. Campbell and Trill Williams both have safety versatility. So that gives them better chances to make this roster if they can make it from special teams perspective or being able to be versatile in both of those roles. So I think that gives Trill Williams and Elijah Campbell the legs up to fight for those sixth and maybe seventh cornerback jobs if it's even available. So that's how I see it going. So in my opinion, to make the roster, obviously we have Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, Kader Kohu, Cam Smith, and Nick Needham. I'm feeling very confident in those guys to make the roster. I think Trill makes it as a cornerback / safety. That's what's going to really make him. And if we're keeping the special teamers, I thought it was going to be Justin Bethel. I mentioned my difficulty making this video on Twitter, and I had some fans feed into me and were like, I was like, maybe Bethel makes it, maybe Crossen, and then somebody mentioned Elijah Campbell, who's also very good at special teams, and I know he also has safety versatility. So maybe Justin Bethel doesn't make the roster, and Elijah Campbell sneaks in at the back end. So Ramsey, Howard, Kohu, Smith, Needham, Trill, and Elijah Campbell. That's how I see the cornerback group falling out. Let me know that down below. Comment, who do you see making the roster at the back end? I know it's very difficult. This is a stacked room with a lot of names, and we're cutting over half the entire room. So lots of cuts to be made. But let me know your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys for watching. It means so much to me. Like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Until next time, I'll catch y'all.